Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. So look all around you. We live in a concrete jungle. Everywhere you look, there's tall buildings, there's big freeway overpasses, roads everywhere. It's kind of hard to find, with the exception of the ocean, it's kind of hard to find those green spaces without being, right up next to a building. We don't have a ton of parks and things like that. So sometimes you just have to get out. So I had the opportunity a few weeks back to do just that. And I went on a hike up Mount Baldy in the San Gabriel Mountains. And it was a great experience. And while it had its challenges, in the end it was very rewarding an experience. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about Mount Baldy. So Mount Baldy is very accessible from here. It's about an hour away. And it's about 10,000 feet. It's the tallest mountain in the LA County area. And we had a great day for the hike. The weather was great. It was a little bit, while it was 90 degrees everywhere else, it was nice and cool up in the mountains. The air was crisp and fresh. And so we started out. And it was great because we had a pretty good sized group of friends. There was about 8 of us. And it's fun to kind of get out and go and do something active, like a hike, and talk to people. Because usually everyone's so busy running around. So on a hike, it's you have one way to go. And that said, it was crowded on the trail, which was kind of a bummer. There wasn't a ton of people, but you definitely weren't alone up there. Perhaps most obnoxious we had, or maybe pernicious, I don't know, was a group of kids from Santa Clara College, I believe is where they were from. They were on their annual Speedo hike. And it's exactly what you think it is. Everyone was walking around. The guys all had Speedos. The gals were in swimsuit bottom and top. I mean, it doesn't offer a lot of protection. It was interesting. It wouldn't be my choice of clothing for a hike, but I guess whatever floats your boat. So we, took an extra long break there on the side and let them kind of play through. So besides that, going up wasn't bad until you get towards the top. So there's switchbacks, right? So you're going back and forth, and then at the very top, the switchbacks ends, and it's just kind of the final push to the summit. It's pretty much straight up. And so you're going up, and the air is a little bit thinner, because, like I said, it's a little over 10,000 feet, but you finally get up there to the view, and it's amazing. I mean, you can look all around you, and on a clear day like we had, you can see the Los Angeles Basin, you can see the desert over here, you can see the other mountains on either side. It's really pretty up there. And so we sat down and kind of took a break, grabbed a snack, watched the Speedo kids have some sort of weird EDM circle that was going on. That was kind of odd. But we kind of delayed a little to let them kind of move on ahead of us. But it was really great up there. And so then started the not so much fun going back down. I like going uphill. I don't like going downhill so much. And on Mount Baldy, it turns out going downhill especially, it can be a little treacherous. And there were spots where it goes pretty steep, there's no switchbacks, and you're kind of doing one of these things, because if you go straight down, you're going to, you'd slip and fall. I know I took a little bit of a spill, but I have nothing to show for it now. So now I just sound dramatic. But you do have to be careful going down, because it is slippery on the rocks and some of the loose gravel. Because at some points you're actually lower down, you get to where there's ski runs up there during the winter, but there's no snow there now, and so the ground underneath the ski runs is pretty torn up, and so you have to kind of be careful going back down. In addition to that, there's also some ridge lines that are a little tricky. I mean, the trail's about this wide, but then on either side it slopes off or drops off pretty quick, which makes cool picture taking, out there in the middle, but you don't want to stray too close to one side or the other. So after descending for what seemed like forever, because you're kind of just like, are we there yet? We're going and going. You finally get to what you're really up there for. There's a ski lodge there at the very end, and that ski lodge is open. And in that ski lodge, there's a bar that serves beer. And there's nothing more rewarding after a long hike than a big pitcher of beer and a nice burger. It's the most well-deserved guild food ever, if you will. It's after took us about 8 hours, I think, or so. We had some slow people. So all in all, it was a really great hike, and I would strongly recommend it to anyone here. It does have its tough parts, and it can be challenging, but things worth doing rarely are easy. And I would strongly, and sometimes, like I said, you have to get out of the concrete jungle. Sometimes you have to go challenge yourself because it's rewarding to get those great views or that beer without any guilt. And so I would say go out there and take a hike. Oh, Toastmaster.